right. Welcome, everybody. It's a Monday night. I'm Joe. Oh, excuse me. I just had dinner. It's time for some Soulherder. I don't think I've made any changes to the list since last week. Actually, I haven't been playing a ton since last week. So, just going to run it back. I think we finished last week at 4-1, which is pretty nice. The previous week we had, we went into round 5, 2-2, and then got paired against Red-Green Scapeshift, which is a very, very difficult matchup, but we were able to sort of scrape that one out in 3 games. So we finished that like 2 weeks ago with 3-2. This week is 4-1, or last week was 4-1. So maybe this week, if we follow the trend, 3-2, 4-1, maybe this week is supposed to be 5-0. I'm not sure if that's how it works, but could be. So things that have been feeling good. I mean, I've been really enjoying Uro. I'm a bigger fan of Thassa at this point than most. Somebody brought it up on the Discord yesterday, I guess. And I guess maybe somebody was having a hard time finding the card, and they said, is it absolutely necessary? No, it's definitely not necessary, but I think the card definitely does more for the deck than people give it credit. I mentioned last week that the tap ability has been surprisingly relevant. I think I also mentioned last week that at a certain point I was playing Lavinia of the 10th in the main deck, which is, the 5-drop basically enters the battlefield and detains permanents CMC 4 and under. So if you have a bunch of creatures but you can't really attack through blockers, you can go and get, like with Chord of Calling or with Eladamri's Call, Lavinia, get her on the battlefield. Now all of a sudden your opponent's creatures can't block and you just Alpha Strike. Thassa, sort of similar. On the opponent's end step, you tap down 1 or 2 of their creatures, untap, tap another creature. Hopefully that clears out enough blockers to be able to attack for the win. So on top of being kind of a Soulherder-esque blinking effect, every end step, Thassa can also clear the way for attacks to sort of close games out. So I don't think I need to spend a lot of time discussing the list. It should just be over on the left of the screen with Cardboard Live, if any of you want to look at it while I'm playing in a match, which I will be in just a moment. So it's the night before the big election, and everybody's freaking out. I think pretty much every single poll that I looked at on 538, their website, every single one, I think that was up today, shows Biden winning, but some of them are as close as like +1 point or something. So of course some of them show like +11 or something, or maybe +8, and the average is something like +8. So we're all feeling pretty good, but we were all feeling pretty good 4 years ago with Hillary until that one night when things went terribly, terribly wrong. All right, Tortilla the Hun, love the name. I would like to play first. Okay, got a mulligan. Oh my god, this is a great start to the league, huh? Opponent starting with 7, and we have to mulligan to 5. Okay, well, we've got lands, and we've got removal to not get run over, I guess. So Thassa is an easy bottom. And I guess call, probably, right? We'll start by playing this tap to maybe get a forest. So getting Thoughtseize in a spot like this is obviously pretty rough, mulliganing to 5. Fortunately, you know, if they take the path or something, then Eternal Witness can always buy it back. Looks like it's probably the black-red Death Shadow deck. So it could be Jund, but we'll see. Taking the path means it's probably going to be pretty aggro. Glasspool being a third land is interesting. It's not going to provide green for Witness, so I think I kind of have to get Watcher down here. Just hope to draw another land naturally next turn. Or just a 2-drop that I can get down. Alongside just playing Glasspool as a land. So, speaking of lands, since we are a little bit behind here, probably the smart choice is to take the Misty Rainforest. Though if it is Jund, you know, we're eventually going to draw lands. So maybe just taking like the value with Ephemerate is better. I'm going to take the Misty Rainforest for now. I'm going to play with some discipline. Okay, it looks like black-red. Oh, well, it's definitely black-red, but here's a Dark Confidant. We don't have a path for that, and Uro is a nice kind of a nice card to have, but it's going to take a while. I'm going to leave my Watcher back. Don't really see a reason to attack here. The fetch underneath Watcher for tomorrow. I think this might just be black-red with like main deck Lurrus, or maybe I guess it's Mardu. So the main deck Lurrus is, I found that these decks are a little bit, oh god, it's Lightning Skelemental. Jesus. All right, well, at least one of the cards going to the graveyard is Uro, which means that if I draw a land next turn and I block here, I can have enough already to cast Uro, which is pretty nice. Actually, no, I can cast it anyway because I'm getting the Misty Rainforest, so I'm going to block. I'm going to get the Misty Rainforest. I'm going to pitch these 2 cards to the graveyard, I guess, right? And I could pitch the land, but that seems greedy. If I pitch Uro and, Eternal Witness and Uro, then I can escape Uro right away, get a 6/6 on the board. So I guess the choice to take the land is paying off big time here. But we'll see how helpful Uro is. Remember, I am on a mulligan to 5 against what looks like a pretty value-oriented deck. All right, well, we've got a couple cards back in hand. If the opponent has another Lightning Skelemental, that's going to be pretty rough. I mean, I just started Contra, so no sweat. You can see the clocks. I don't have double white for Skyclave Apparition. I'm just falling super far behind it. They're going to double bolt the Uro. That's pretty disgusting. All right, well, I guess. Pretty terrible draws there. So opponent with the double lightning bolt. I think we're just toast. The mulligan to 5 was not great, and opponent's got a clock. They've got Liliana. Gonna pitch this one card that I have. I mean, typically throwing things in the graveyard for Uro is okay, but we just don't have the resources anymore. So unless I start drawing like snake into snake into snake, particularly flash snakes, well, okay. So this is like a unless this is a thing that I don't know about, this looks like a black-red brew, which we should be solid against, I would say. Now Lily can make me sack, and then these guys will just kill me, right? So unfortunately, that Path to Exile that was in the graveyard is gone already since I escaped Uro. So I think this one's just over. Lily makes me sack, they get in for 11, and that's that. I'd rather not remind them. I mean, they already know that I'm pretty graveyard heavy, but I'll just go ahead and concede here. So welcome to the stream, everybody. Sorry about this start. Mulliganing to 5, drew into double Ether Vial when I needed nothing but gas. I had a shot there. I think if I, instead of drawing the 2 Ether Vials, imagine if I had drawn like 2 Coatls, they would have drawn me into other cards that could potentially answer what the opponent was working with here. Lightning Skelemental is an interesting one. Fortunately, we have an extra path, a bunch of purges, other removal. Worship seems solid in the matchup. Ashiok seems solid in the matchup. There's that path. Veil seems good. It seemed like all their permanents are black, except for Lightning Skelemental, which can be Ether Gusted. I think I'll take the forces out. Don't love them here. It's kind of an aggressive deck with those Scourges, so I think Stonehorn is relevant. Maybe with all the removals, Soulherder is a little bit fragile. Maybe I'll leave Thassa in. Trim a call. I mean, I need to start making some room. I could have Kolaghan's Commands, but I do like having Ether Vial in the deck. Maybe since it's kind of a mid-range grindy matchup, I should trim a couple of Ether Vials. I can get down with that. And then as far as the calls go, I mean, we've got a lot of great creatures, and they're all going to kind of do well here, so I think just trimming a second call is fine. And I do like the Planeswalker, so I'll leave Teferi in the sort of grindy matchups. And with Skyclave, I think Deputy might be less relevant. You know, they could just play Young Pyromancer, in which case, you know, I might feel a little silly about taking the Deputy of Detention out. But we've got Celestial Purges, four Path to Exiles, Winds of Abandon, 2 Skyclaves. Wow. Well, you know, we have to keep it. It's not inspiring. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. Go green, white, blue. We've got Veil up. I guess I can keep this. Maybe I'll just put Temple Garden on the bottom. Opponent kept on 7 in the first game. They're mulliganing to 6 here. I mulligan to 5 in game 1. We're going to play this and hope that we get Thought Seized on turn 1. Okay, looks good. Okay, better start this time. So if they play Dark Confidant, I'll just Celestial Purge it. And, you know, hope that this is okay. Well, here's an instance of Glasspool being a little bit awkward, but we still have plays. So I'm going to put it onto the battlefield tapped and pass with Coatl and Path up. Opponent not hitting their second or rather third land drop. That's amazing. Let's see if we can pull ahead a little bit. If we can untap with Coatl, seems like they're F6ing, which is quite nice. So now we have Ephemerate up as well as being able to get Ashiok on the board. I think I'll probably chill on Thassa until we have 5 mana. So I think just getting like basic green here is probably fine. And then I'll play Ashiok with the 3 lands on the right. So now opponent's fetches are offline temporarily unless they are able to deal with Ashiok. But we're already filling up our graveyard, which is quite nice. Lightning bolting Ashiok. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. There's that 5th land. Quite nice. So now we'll attack and then play Thassa. And we should be pretty good here. Obviously, the clock is not super fast, but Ashiok's actually contributing a lot of devotion to Thassa. I only need 1 more blue pip after this, I think. All right, got to go for it here. They could have another piece of removal, but you know it's just going to strain their hand a little bit more. All right, fair enough. So now basically all creatures are excellent top decks. Got lots of lands. We've got the opponent's lands turned off. Of course, they draw a non-fetch. Got the removal for that, so not very worried, but drawing lands is problematic. I can also tap down the Scourge, so that's pretty... I was talking about Thassa earlier, and it's a nice example of Thassa being able to do cool stuff. Okay, opponent's down to 2 cards. Definitely going to Path the Dark Confidant. Crack the fetch, get another blue source, another white source. Alright, so the deck is doing it the hard way, I guess, this game. Super awkward. And we have the Ephemerate. If we get to untap and draw a creature, it's pretty awesome. But, you know, okay, Kalidas. So, probably going to want to tap that guy down now. Okay. So awkward. Maybe I should have kept the Ether Vial in case they land Lily. I'd prefer to keep Ephemerate in hand. All right, well, we need a draw. We need a draw. Ashiok down. Not like this, right? Like everything started off so nicely. The opponent gave us like 2 extra turns, 3 extra turns, whiffing on their land drops. Okay, let's do it. Give me something good, Mr. Oracle. Oh my god. Sweet Jesus. I guess I want to crack that. Can I get a blink in? I hit another land? It's like kind of impossible. Oh, this is so depressing. I mean, I do have Winds of Abandon in the deck, so the deck can make up for some of this garbage. Don't really care about lifelink right now. Life totals are only relevant. Well, they're rarely relevant. If I'm going to lose to their creatures, I'm going to lose to their creatures. So, I mean, like lifelink, them gaining life doesn't affect our game plan at all. Come on. Ugh. So now Lily gets the minus again. Oh, actually, lifelink is good for me. They almost killed their Scourge. So maybe I'll hold off on cracking this fetch just because my life total is getting a little lower. They've got so many creatures on board. Can I please draw something here? That Lily won't make me discard. Maybe, oh my god. A 2-drop that I can violin, maybe a piece of removal, maybe a snake. Oh, Jesus Christ. Do you guys see... Do you guys see how many lands I'm hitting here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I've hit my first 10 land drops. That's and then if you count the lands that are in the graveyard, like it's significantly more than half the lands in my deck. It's 11. It's exactly 11. What a game this is. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, if half of these lands were like not lands, this would have been the easiest game. I like actively thinned the deck. We had 4 fetches and I cracked all of them. And look at that, the next 2 cards on top of the deck. So between the cards in my graveyard and the cards on the battlefield, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 out of my 21 lands. Not even halfway through the deck. That's like more than 75% of my lands. Anyhow, frustrating. Against what should be a pretty reasonable matchup, I think. I mulligan to 5 and then mulligan to 6. The opponent got stuck on their lands for like 2 or 3 turns at 2 lands, and I had an opportunity, but then I just flooded out like crazy. Annoying start to the match. Well, anyhow, how are you guys doing this evening? In the chat. I think my opponent just scooped the match for whatever reason. That's weird. I might be getting a free win here. Like maybe the opponent has to go. Magic is thinking really hard about what's happening right now. All right, well, we're right back in it, guys, after fighting hard in round 2. I think that was a pretty exceptional example of flood in that that first round, that game in the first round. To have 16 of the 21 lands out of your deck by like, oh, I don't even know. I had 33 cards left in the deck. I'm going to keep this. It's slow, but if it's a fast matchup, we've got the path to slow them down. And I don't know. It's kind of a weird hand for sure, but turn 1 Ether Vial is very strong. And if we get to turn 3 of 4, like, we should be pretty good. Opponents mulliganing to 5 means that they might be on some kind of combo deck, maybe Tron. Unfortunately, we don't have a blue card in hand to pitch to force. Nor do we have any blue lands whatsoever. Opponent thinking carefully about their 5. Okay, they kept on 5. And let's see what we're playing against. Basic Plains. Maybe like a Taxis deck. I know that's getting pretty popular. Oh my god. Good timing. Good timing. But now we need to start drawing like some snakes, I think. Up, green, white, Arbor Elf. I don't know what's happening here. Oh, I'm not sure I know what's... I don't think I know what's happening. I mean, like a land would let me just blow up the Arbor Elf, which would be nice. Well, all right. Call can get me something. I've also got Path available. Should just pass the turn here. Still can't cast Force of Negation. Oh god. Okay, all right. Well, Skyclave is still online next turn. This guy's just getting pieced out, so I think we're in a fine situation. And I actually think I'm going to call for like Soulherder, I guess, just to start blinking Skyclave Apparition. Okay, that land is actually pretty good. So now I can Skyclave the Arbor Elf, and then Violin Soulherder, and then Skyclave the Heliod. Okay, opponent's not feeling it. On their mulligan to 5. Okay. So the Heliod combo is it goes infinite life, and then their team gets really big, and not really sure how relevant. I mean, Worship is pretty good. Night of Autumn, I guess if they play Utopia Sprawls, you know, I think Night of Autumn might be good in this matchup. I forget what other enchantments they might play. They definitely play Utopia Sprawl. Definitely want to bring in Path. We definitely want to bring in Winds of Abandon. I think Ether Gust is probably pretty good. It's like entirely creatures, so I think I can just cut all the forces. Skyclave, obviously pretty amazing. in the matchup. I think Ashiok might be good just because I think that they run like Eladamri's Call. So if I think about bringing in Ashioks, what would I take out? I like the calls to be able to go get Skyclaves. I don't really care too much about. I guess Uro's pretty good. Maybe Teferi's not amazing. Gets to bounce stuff, but I think we're looking more for like stuff like Skyclave and Deputy. And maybe both Ashioks are necessary. Maybe just one Ashiok is sufficient, since I don't know that I've seen Call a ton out of them, although I'm pretty sure they do play some number of this card. I think I'll leave Worship out, but keep Stonehorn in. Watcher seems good. I don't know. Maybe I just trim one Oracle. I hate trimming my 2-drops, but I think this is a very difficult matchup for our deck. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. We've got slow stuff, no Ether Vial. But we do have removal. We have Eternal Witness to get back removal. I think I have to keep this probably. I'm on the draw, so something like an Ether Vial would be awesome. Just snakes. I think I could probably go green, blue, and then this guy. Reason being that I might want to cast a path next turn. Well, whatever. I'm going to play Canopy Vista here. I don't think I'm going to need to rip path right now. Our opponent's also got slow stuff. Wow. Okay. But if they land Heliod and we don't have an answer right away, they can just gain infinite life, which is rough for us, obviously. And since the first game took so little time, I don't know that I'll actually like make the opponent grind it out. They've got, almost 24 minutes on their clock, so. All right, here's the Heliod, setting ourselves up to go down hard. So basically Deputy or particularly Sky App or bust here. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. I might just make them like spend some time gaining infinite life until they get like ahead of me, or behind me rather, on the clock. I don't know. I'll see how I feel. Oh my god. Is this like, I guess, setting up for Collected Company? Oh, I wish that this was able to blow up, but it doesn't get blown up. I guess now we just we attack. They play Collected Company, and then we either Ephemerate and or Path to Exile. Path and then Ephemerate and then Path again. But if they hit a they could also just be casting Eladamri's Call here, so they can untap and play Spike Feeder, which looks like it might be what they're doing. So we have drawn none of our calls, and we've drawn no Sky Apps, no Deputy. Okay, well, fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go like Scavenging Ooze or something stupid like that, you know? Spike Feeder. Wait, regain life, put a plus counter on it. So I think this is just the combo. I think I just die now, right? So let them gain infinite life. All right, so now we are going to wait a little while. The Spike Feeder is going away, and we've got plenty of time on the clock. Without a Spike Feeder, I don't know that like we can't beat this like pseudo infinite life. So I think it works out to something like 1 life per second on the clock or something like that. So if they want to go up to like 300 life, they have to spend like 5 minutes or something. Oh, does he get... Oh, they move all the counters, right? So he gets gigantic. Well, if it doesn't have trample, I can chump and then ephemerate and path the Conclave Mentor. Welcome to the stream, Halzor. Not a familiar name. So if this is your first time in the stream, welcome. If it's not your first time, sorry that I don't recognize the name. So when they gain life, they get to put +1 counters on anything that they want, right? So, okay, get to target our, say yes. Get back our Path to Exile. Say yes. And maybe they have, well, let's see what they have, I guess. Another Conclave Mentor. Arbor Elf. Gavany Township. Well, we'll block here, I think. Actually, hang on a second. Let me reset the blockers. If I leave her, I can path Ephemera. I don't have enough lands to really just kill everything right away, so I'll just... Yeah, that seems fine. Okay, so they gave it lifelink, gain 24 life. Creatures are getting swole. Well, we can start pathing things. There's no real reason to path yet, right? Like a creature that I could blink, that would be nice. So I'm only going to be able... I guess I could get 2... Well, if I play... I can't get off 2 paths. But I can play a creature as a chump blocker. Well, hang on a second. Let me path first. Play another Eternal Witness and get back the path. I could also just leave up Ephemerate, like Ghost Blocks, but I don't have a body on the battlefield to do that effectively with, so... Eventually we'll draw some more lands, I guess. Get the Eternal Witness back for now. Okay, we get to blow that up with Utopia Sprawl. That's exciting. No blocks. I don't think this is lethal. Maybe it's going to be 6, right? Okay, you got it. Now I can double path, which is kind of nice. Oh, I have to... What? No! What? That was ridiculous. I guess my auto yields kind of messed up there. I like that both of us are playing pretty fast. I don't like that I just misclicked through my path to exile, though. It's pretty obnoxious. Oh, they have a choke. That's cool. Oh, I should get back a land, huh? So yeah, I'll get back a land with Eternal Witness on my end step now. I am going to have to discard stuff. I'm not tapping my... So let's get rid of Ether Vial, Eladamri's Call. This guy gets to go get a Walking Ballista, I think. Which is sort of rough. So I guess this should probably kill us now, right? Yeah. So if I got the... It didn't even matter if I had a path in hand here that I could cast. I think they can just keep responding, right? I mean, the opponent is playing well. They're playing quickly, so I think I'll just go ahead and scoop here, right? No need to make them play this out. Yeah, path for Ballista doesn't actually answer anything, and the opponent sacrificed their Ranger Captain before they even cast the Walking Ballista. So good to note that Knight of Autumn can blow up Choke, which can be relevant. I mean, I guess Teferi bounces Heliod, right? Which is sort of something. I guess Control is good against them because they just have lots of counter spells and they can just counter everything that they play. We haven't seen any search, so I'll just take Ashiok out and bring Teferi in. I'm just going to, and maybe even take Thassa out and bring Oracle in. Seemed like Soulherder was good enough. They can win through combat, as you guys saw, so Stonehorn is relevant. I think I just got lucky in game one. This is extremely difficult to win for us. Oh, you know what? Made a mistake here. I should be bringing in Ceremonious Rejection. That's just a big mistake. Yeah, I mean, Ceremonious Rejection actually is a big deal here. Although if they get Ranger Captain to find Walking Ballista, then they can turn off my non-creature spells anyway. All right. Well, we're going to have a timely Skyclave Apparition, not a timely Ether Vial though. I'll take Uro here. Welcome to the stream, everybody. It's been a weird one so far. A really weird one. We lost to Mardu in round 1. After flooding out ridiculously. And then we, our opponent just scooped before even choosing whether to keep their hand in round 2. And then we've got the Ephemerate here as well. And now we're playing against a ridiculously terrible matchup. Opponent with what appears to be Collected Company. Just go ahead and attack with the Watcher, I guess. Kind of want this guy to die. Although I could just Ephemerate him, So I think we're just going to get down. Eternal Witness here. Just getting back a land for now, but having it on the battlefield is always pretty good. And hitting our land drops is pretty good. Can also copy the Skyclave Apparition if I feel like it. Okay, so what is this Collected Company going to give the opponent? Hopefully not Heliod plus Spike Feeder, because that would be slightly unfair. What is this thing? Yeah, I'm not going to rush here, I don't think. Can just like Ghost Block and then blow something up. So these guys are going to get pretty swole pretty soon. I think I need to get rid of this thing because it's going to put counters on stuff. I think, doesn't this get super dirty? But they have no mana right now. So all right, I think I just Skyclave this as soon as it hits the battlefield. And somebody's going to get really big. Maybe I just let them... Ugh, I don't even know what I'm doing. I think I need to let them go to combat and then just Ghost Block. Yeah, they're pretty F6'd here. I'm going to die to these illusions, though. So now I can play Mimic, copy the Skyclave, ephemerate, and like, you know, keep killing stuff basically. I mean, we've got blockers, which is nice. Just pass the turn. Okay, they sack their Horizon Canopy. 4 mana left. Another Spike Feeder. I can kill the Spike Feeder whenever. So I think I'm going to block like this. Say okay. Get Uro in my hand. Winds of Abandon seems like a good one. Okay, so we're going to have enough mana to cast the winds next turn. And these Ether Vials have been a bit of a bummer. If they had the path, I feel like they probably would have used it. I mean, this thing doesn't scare me that much right now, right? It does. If they get to untap with mana, I think it's unfortunate for us. So I think I'll just deal with it now, or try to. Don't really want to attack. I think we do want to block with Watcher if they decide to get frisky. So now I just want them to play out a whole bunch of creatures without Heliod, though. Okay, Spike Feeder is a creature. Opponent's going to have a lot of lands pretty soon. Ooh. All right, so they found a path. So that's pretty good for them. I do have Uro coming up, but for the time being, I think the best play is pretty clearly just to piece out all their stuff. Okay, that's pretty good. We're gonna have Uro coming up pretty soon, Teferi coming up pretty soon. Opponent with a smile. Opponent said MTGO hates them today. I said, sorry, I know the feeling. I had 3 turns to get the path to lethal you. Well, they found a path. Then you make that the good play, and that makes me to get a land to win. And that turn, I got the path. Magic. I mean, they had a lot of potent stuff on their side of the battlefield. I'm not exactly sure how like multiple conclave mentors or whatever they're called interact with each other, but I think they could have made their creatures pretty big. Opponents said they almost had lethal or something. Still have an out if you have nothing. I mean, does Uro count as something? Or I guess getting Ephemerate back would be nice. Oh, that's decent. I feel like putting Teferi down is probably a good play. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got lethal on board. And I don't really need to draw cards right now, so I'll just tick him up. So I'm not sure. I mean, maybe they have Collected Company here, which could be pretty good. I don't have any Ephemerate. Opponent says they think that the Ballista is their only out, but like, what, they make a Ballista for 5 or something, and doesn't do too much. I guess gives them some blockers. Got the 4th feeder. What? Are they going to gain infinite life? Are they going to be annoying? Oh, well, they can't respond to... Oh, they can't... Yeah, they can. Never mind. All right. So we're pathing, and yeah, we're doing this. Wow. Oh, whoa. Can't they just gain infinite life? So now, I mean, what do I want? I have the Eladamri's Call. Oh, I want to get Eternal Witness to get Ephemerate and blow stuff up. All right. So opponent with, I guess I bounce the Heliod to their hand. They have a Horizon Canopy to redraw. I'm not sure why they didn't gain infinite life or as much life as they could last turn. Oh, they couldn't pay or something? I don't know. It's kind of weird. Okay, it looks like the opponent is conceding here. So so Spike Feeder enters with 2 counters. Wait, I don't want to say that. So opponent says, I made the right decisions, so that's nice of them to say. So it enters, and whenever you gain life, put a +1 counter on a creature you control. So they remove a counter, they gain 2 life. They put a +1 counter on it, and they just keep gaining life. Oh, if I respond to the first activation, then if they activate it again, it will just die. Yeah, so this has been like the weirdest league so far. Like I should have beaten Mardu in round 1, but they rolled me, and because I just drew 16 lands. Then the opponent scooped before we drew our opening hands in game 2, or sorry, round 2, and then we beat one of our worst matchups in round 3. So just give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. I played with Spike Feeder like a long time ago, like before birthing pod decks were even like really figured out. Like people were like using birthing pod but not doing super optimal things. So I think I was playing like Spike Feeder with Archangel of Thune, and some other combo pieces. I had some janky birthing pod decks. This is a very quiet stream this evening. The 5-0 Dream got crushed in the very first round. That guy has 3 trophies, so we dodged a bullet there, I guess. M. Hayashi still on the top of the table. I'm still not on the table at all. Feels bad. All right, round 4. Let's go. Good opening hands. No mulligans. 2 lands, Ether Vial, Snakes. Yeah. All right, well, we started by winning the die roll. That's nice. And 2 lands, Ether Vial, no snakes, but we've got ways to get snakes maybe. Canopy Vista, a little bit awkward. But whatever. I think I will get blue-white here. Once again, as with another opening hand in this league, no blue spell to pitch to Force of Negation. So let's hope the opponent doesn't do it to us on their first turn. Oh man. All right, well. I I guess maybe like Skyclave Apparition. It will be helpful. We do want to cast Eladamri's Call, so I guess we do want to resolve it, right? So yeah, M. Hayashi I think just has his own kind of prowess build. I'm not sure if he's on Scourge now or not. So I might just want to main phase Eladamri's Call here. Yeah, I'm going to pass the turn, though. If the opponent is on counterbalance, which I've seen a lot of lately, I'll call for like a snake and force it, I guess, or something. All right, well, we'll see what they have now. Okay, so we kind of want to get the ball rolling here. So like a 2-drop would be nice. To just be able to violin. I think maybe Watcher for tomorrow to get the value going. Although, something that can draw us a card and then hopefully turn Force on so we can counter Teferi when they play it. So if we just, like, the snakes will draw us cards right away. The Watcher will take a long time. We have no way to access the Watcher. So I think just getting a snake here is probably the way to go, and maybe just Coiling Oracle, I think. So just like an untapped land would be okay here. Okay, no untapped land. Just gonna pass the turn here. I've got Call up. I've also got, well, a blue spell to pitch to force with Coiling Oracle. Okay. Okay, just cycling this. That's interesting. Okay, well, it looks like it's probably not. Yeah, it's this Jeskai like Wildfire's deck. All right, so I have to be careful with the time. I just want value cards, nothing like Soulherder right now, because the opponent can just blow me out with like Lightning Helixes and stuff. So like Eternal Witness is the get here. Okay. Oh no, stop, no! Oh, that's so terrible. My finger just slipped at the last second. Ugh, Jesus. Magic. I can't remember the last time like I've literally just like misclicked like that. Ugh. Okay, all right. It's all forgiven. God. So now we've got Force up. I don't know that I care if they trade like with this shark. Totally fine with me, I think. Like, not going to give them a land to not trade with the Coiling Oracle. I could even get the Coiling Oracle back with Eternal Witness if I feel like it. But we've got time to sort of think about that. Do have to play faster. Already falling behind on clock, so quick. I think I will just use the I think I'll just get the Coiling Oracle. I think it's just fine here. Opponent's got a discard to hand size. So not pathing the shark was obviously pretty good. All right, let's see if we can take advantage of this situation. Now, if they've got Mono Leak, I can resolve Coiling Oracle around it. Let's start with that. Oh, I do have Deputy of Detention, which is kind of silly. I didn't mean to get it, but opponent with the third Shark Typhoon. I can't imagine they run 3 Shark Typhoons. Yeah, that's getting 10,000% countered. And I am going to play the Deputy and just nab this Shark, just to increase my clock a little bit. I still have Sky App in hand. So now, like, Ephemerate or Soulherder or something would be amazing. It's a good one. Uro seems pretty awesome. All right, swinging for 4. It's like a 4-turn clock, I guess. Well, next turn swinging for 6. Oh, I guess 2 more turns after this if they don't have anything. But if they don't have lands, they have to have some stuff. Is this like path, snap, path or something? Maybe just a Cryptic, tapping my team down? Like a pretty aggressive use of Cryptic Command. Returning this to my hand. I mean, okay. They're not even drawing a card. Now I could path my Watcher, which actually seems pretty sweet here. They could have another Force of Negation, in which case I might want to wait to do it on their turn, but I kind of feel like casting Uro here and drawing cards. Now, if they have a Force, it's a little rough for us, but they didn't. They could of course force Uro, but it's not the end of the world if that happens. If he hits a land, I can escape him right now. Should be kind of cool. Nope. I'm just going to hold up Ephemerate, replay my Ether Vial. I mean, that slowed my clock down, but it got Uro into play, so... Teferi's still annoying if they land it. 7 cards in hand. This is where we get to start putting some pressure on because, that's really good. I think I just have to lead with that. Although I'd kind of prefer to get it down. So let's go ahead and attack, see if they tap my team down again. They might just like whatever. I guess I'll have to wait and see. Like Bolt Snap. They don't have double red. They might be leaving up counter spells. Maybe I go for Uro first and then resolve Teferi, which should just be a blowout. So if they're going to counter, if they counter to Uro, they could have 2 counters, but maybe they go Cryptic. Yeah, counter draw seems fine. Now they might have to force, if they have a force, Teferi. All right, we played that well, I think. Just take them up. Since they do run bolts and such. We would have lethal if we were able to violin the Sky App, but the opponent did reset our Ether Vial. I mean, this game, a little unfortunate because the opponent got stuck on 3 lands for like 5 turns. Pretty cool. That's the original Ravnica symbol, I think. Awesome. Awesome art. Consistent with their land choices here. Is this okay? It's a Jace. Fair enough. Let's see if they try to bounce something. I don't know that they would, but okay. So I think the plan is just to attack Jace down next turn. So, well, I don't know actually. Maybe just go after the opponent. Okay, Mystic Sanctuary is going to get Cryptic Command. I guess I just get my Force of Negation, and that just is kind of almost a hard lock with Teferi, I guess. I'm going to blink the Deputy and get rid of Jace, and then attack the opponent. Problem here is if I... Hang on, let me cancel this. I think I just kind of want to leave my creatures up, attack with all of them. And then we have Ephemerate plus Force. I kind of want to kill Jace. I don't know. Maybe it's unnecessary. I don't think I want to kill Jace. I have Apparition for Jace at some point. So yeah, I'll just hold Ephemerate for now. I don't want to take any of my creatures out of combat. But I could attack and then bounce now, but I think I'd rather get like just Teferi ticked up. Get this tapped. I mean, I can just cast Skyclave right now, which seems like probably the best thing to do. If the opponent like wipes my board, I just get to cast Uro. And I still get to untap with Teferi. I've got a lot of choices here. I think I probably just want to Ephemerate and then force it. I'm sure the opponent has a lot of counterspells in hand. Teferi's pretty dumb. Looks like we got this one. Okay. It's just a case of like land screw on the opponent's side. So this is not a deck that runs Counterbalance. So Knight of Autumn, not necessary. Ashiok, though, on the other hand, is going to be awesome. We bring in the 4th Force. Veil is excellent. I guess that's about... Knight might come in just as like a body. Let's see. Maybe not. I mean, Stonehorn comes out. Take out all the paths. We have Deputy to clear up Skyap tokens and to clear up Shark tokens. So we're already down to 60, just taking out the Path to Exiles. And... And the Stonehorn. Kind of like Knight. It's probably not necessary. Yeah, I think we're probably okay. Maybe we want to err more on the side of creatures than on like things like Eladamri's Call. So trim 1 call, bring in Knight just as another body, just as attackers. That's fine. 3 calls is still a lot against such a slow matchup. You guys still with me? You hanging in there? I don't think there was a single comment about that game. Opponents starting with 7. These are all very, very good cards, and if any of them were Ether Vial, I would keep this. Unfortunately, they're not, and I have to mulligan. Oh, this is better. Not insanely awesome, but I think I'll sort of keep like this. Say done. I just hope to draw snakes and or lands. True that call, I guess. It's weird. Okay. I will happily pitch one of my Uros to counter a Teferi if it comes to that. Oh, that's beautiful. The full art. Okay, well, I mean, I can call at some point for that land. I can go get Glasspool Mimic if I feel like it. I think that might be the play here. Like, I guess casting Oracle is a possibility. They could just counter it, whatever. I'm going to go for it. And I've still got Uro up to pitch for Teferi. So I think green-white is probably the call here. Okay. Well, I mean, Ether Vial is a good card, but this is shaping up to be a pretty awkward game. I'm going to Lightning Helix this thing. Okay, no Teferi yet. I mean, I think I have to try to get Ether Vial down here. It's super awkward, but we do have Force on their turn. If they want to counter it, whatever. Okay, very good. If this is Jace, well, looks like it's just Cryptic. Okie dokie, it's one of those. So passing with Coatl plus Coatl up. X equals 2. Fair. They think they're just going to protect this thing for the rest of the game. Well, there's that land. Okay, well, a lot of choices here. Uro seems pretty good, though. And maybe I'm being greedy. Maybe I just need to Ewit to get back Force right away. And I guess I'll see if that's the case. Not blocking with the Coatl, so I will attack. Opponent was representing Bolt and Lightning Helix, so I have a feeling this is just Bolt here. Maybe not. Maybe leaving back the block there was correct so that I can then go ahead and cast Uro. Opponent's on 5 cards currently. I am shields down with no counter spells, which feels bad. Next turn I can play Eternal Witness, Get Back Force, hold up Ephemerate. Opponent finds their 5th land. They're down to 4 cards. Still getting in for the beats. Passes the turn. Aether Vial looks awesome here, so I think this looks like another shark attack to me. Could also just be like Cryptic Command. In which case I think I probably want to lead with Watcher. Yeah, I mean, this looks like another shark. So I'm probably not going to attack, and I guess I'll go for the Ghost block. And if they have removal, then I've got extra stuff to. They had nothing with 5 mana. No sharks, no removal, no counter spells, and they didn't play a land on turn 5, I think. Weird. They're not even floating mono with flagstones. Like, I have no idea what's going on, guys. Super confusing. So I'm going to go for the Ghost block here. Okay. So maybe just Ephemerate on the Watcher, or maybe I just get in combat, see if let's see. Thassa is interesting. All right, so we're gonna crack in with Watcher for tomorrow. Opponent didn't counter our Vial. They didn't counter Watcher for tomorrow. I don't know what they have in their hand. It's very strange, but I'm going to continue to just pass the turn. Can hold up Call, hold up Ephemerate. We'll get our Aether Vial to a point soon where I can get the Eternal Witness. If they attack with the Shark, I will go for the Ghost block, because why not? It just fills up the graveyard for Uro. Maybe they're just like shook of Uro, basically. And they're like holding up their 1 counter spell to make sure that I can't get Uro escaped. Okay, fair enough. The weird timing. I mean, let's go for this and see what they've got. At least this takes me out of the ghost blocking situation. They didn't counter that. So, yeah, I mean, just taking 2 here. No reason to trade a perfectly good snake for a 2/2 token. Opponent still playing weirdly. Not exactly. I think I just want value here and like maybe just Coatls. I think a Coatl seems just fine. Maybe Deputy to get rid of this Shark. But we've got Ewit to get back Call whenever I want, basically. So I think just getting another Coatl is fine. Be able to Vial it in next turn. I kind of want to punch with the Watcher for tomorrow. So opponent really apparently living in fear of this Uro. I think I just pass. Not really afraid of anything here. It is so quiet on the stream tonight. Super curious. Okay, Mystic Sanctuary. Getting back Lightning Helix. Or putting it on top of the library at least, so think I'm fine maybe just trading here. Don't even want to ephemerate. Just get that thing out of my life. Okay, Force is a good one in this matchup. Though we do have Eternal Witness coming anyway. Okay, opponent's going to go down to 9. Let's see. I have 1 Force up, Hardcast, and then I could always Violin and then pitch Thassa or something. Kind of like Thassa though here. So, I mean, the question is whether I play the Coiling Oracle or not. I think I might as well. Okay, just ramping a little bit, and we'll pass the turn. Okay, opponent going for something. It's a big old snake. I mean, a big old shark. Is that what's happening? Nexus of Fate. I think I do want to counter that one. And now, as I mentioned, I do have Eternal Witness to get back Force again if necessary. I didn't know the Nexus of Fate was an instant. I guess it is, huh? Gonna blow up their own land. Okay, I'm not gonna counter that. Just cycles, right? Opponent doesn't seem like they're very comfortable here. Okay, they played a Mountain. They got 2 cards left in hand. I've got Straight Gas. So I don't really think there's a reason for me to even play the Eternal Witness. Although, I guess it does sort of... Yeah, I guess I might as well. I've got the Ephemerate, and I can just go get... I don't know. Just get Force for now. Swinging for 6. We have Ephemerate up. Can just try to cast Uro at this point. Oh, and now we have Veil back up. That's a little bit crazy. Seems like the opponent's just drawing poorly. Are they going to make a shark now? Lightning Helix. I guess we just Ephemerate. And at this point, I guess just get back Ephemerate. And I think the opponent's scooping here, so that'll take us up to 3-1. So doing decently. Remember, we did get a free round 2, which is nice. Okay. All right, well, we are 3-1 going into the last round. We have a chance to 4-1 again, which would be quite nice. I mean, we lost round 1 primarily to mulliganing to 5 in the first game, and then we mulled to 6 in the second game, and the opponent did as well, but they just had I guess, well, they didn't draw 16 lands in game 2. Where is everybody at? It looks like there's just one person in here with me right now, and whoever that one person is, thanks for sticking around, keeping me company on Monday night. All right, let's get this. 4-1, no Titans, no oops all spells. No Tron. We are on the play. And slow hand. Really slow hand. No value. Quite solid against, say, like black-red prowess, but we don't see Luris over here. And yeah, I think I just have to mulligan this. It looks like lands and spells, but this is better. Opponent's mulliganing as well. I think I'm just going to keep this. And I mean, maybe bottom like the basic. Just keep the spells that I have. Hope that I draw land in the first two draw steps. Okay, some kind of green-white deck. Oh my god. So annoying. Well, this requires 2 mana to activate it, so I can path it in their upkeep. Well, Ether Vial was a nice draw there. Okay, let's see what they've got past this Reclaimer. To be clear, this is another one of our worst matchups. We've played against Heliod combo and now Reclaimer Titan. With 2 Reclaimers on a mulligan to 6, seems decent. Okay, well, I mean, we do get to call for, like, Skyap, I guess, and then we're just praying to draw lands. Could also get my Mimic if I really want to. It's super slow. I don't think I can do that here. So Skyclave and Prey. Okay, well, we have a path, so sort of something. Just gonna path this guy right now. I mean, if they have a Titan, they get to untap and cast it, I think. I just path this guy on site once he's got mana up to activate, because I don't know that passing to their upkeep actually does very much, since it just gives them another activation. Looks like they have an uncounterable Titan coming. Why not? Unless they go for Summoner's Pact, in which case we have a counterspell, but oh man, never gets old. Never gets old. Possible I should have just gotten Deputy of Detention. The deck doesn't really run removal, and Deputy is so important for zombies. That was kind of stupid of me. So unless I draw another call off the top, I think I'm just going to be dead to zombies real fast. But it's fine. You know, this matchup ending sooner than later is sort of okay with me. Yep. So the strangest league I've played in a long time. Let's recap again. It was Mardu, with just like Scourge and Dark Confidants, not even aggro, just kind of like mid-range Scourge, black red, in round 1. Random opponent scooped round 2 before I even got to see them play. And then we played against and beat Heliod combo. Then we played against and beat. What did I just play against? Oh, well, Jeskai. Jeskai's not that wacky. It's just Heliod combo, Mardu, and now Titans. Ugh, is my sideboard glitching? It is, I think. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. I think we're all right. So they kind of want to search their library, right? So Ashiok seems good. I don't know how good Force is in the matchup. Take them out. Path seems okay. Worship seems sort of okay. It's kind of silly. Wins, I guess, also, but if you wins them and they have basics and they just get a lot of zombies again, I'll bring it in. Couldn't hurt. So what are we taking out? Are we really calling for things in this matchup? Not so much. Maybe Stonehorn in a pinch. I don't know. Watcher kind of helps us dig a little bit. Like the Skyclaves, they get rid of those Reclaimers. Thassa is kind of good if it gets grindy, though it rarely does. I think I'll just cut Thassa then. Although I kind of like Thassa. I'll keep Thassa in. Yeah, trim Teferi. Teferi's not that great here. Anybody with me now? It's round 5 of the Super Weird League. Sitting at 3-1. Beat Jeskai. Beat Heliod Company. Lost to Mardu. Had a bye in round 2. Well, I can't cast any of my spells. This looks pretty stupid. Been getting super weird hands in this league. Just a lot of mulligans and a lot of very awkward opening hands. Just not a lot of like smooth opening hands with Ether Vial. I think I had one opening hand with Ether Vial and it had like my Canopy Vista in it. So we're gonna mulligan. And this is better. I think we're still gonna get run over by this deck keeping 7 cards. I can keep here and just bottom the breeding pool, I think. Going to get green, and then definitely the next 2 lands are going to, well, the next one will be Hallowed Fountain, and the one after that will definitely be blue in case I draw Ashiok. I might play a league, a queue after this, just because the league went so fast. Okay, now we just have to hit Ashiok, and we should be sort of good to go. We get to double Snake next turn. It's kind of cool. It's a Dryad. Why not? So 4 lands on turn 2. Perfect. Skyclave is kind of nice. Why don't I start with a snake, though? And I'll respond to the Coiling Oracles. Well, maybe I won't. I do want to get... All right, anyhow, let's just see what it hits. Ephemerate is interesting, but I'm going to Skyclave the Dryad. And I do have to get my second Hallowed Fountain. You know what? I can just wind him. I'm so far away, and then hold up Ephemerate to try to like pull a little bit ahead here. But Winds gives him a land, so obviously not the best choice, since they can just play a land and play a Titan next turn. All right, well, doing our best to hang on. It's borderline unwinnable, this matchup. Ashiok sort of changes things if we can draw it. At a certain point, I used to think that any Titan deck we should basically mulligan to Ashiok, but I don't really know that that's true. They still get to make 2 land drops this turn if they have it. Oh my god. Double Valakut. What are you oh my god. The 2 lands that they had in hand were Valakuts. It didn't matter. I guess it mattered in the sense that they got 2 Valakut triggers for like no reason. I think I kind of, do I have to put this on 3? I guess I do. So now they've got, put my snake on the battlefield. Actually, you know what? I can just ephemerate this, and then all of a sudden the Valakut, wins it. All of a sudden, the Valakuts are not really doing all that much. I should have probably tapped a little bit differently. I have to hurt myself to get Coatl. Although I think I'll probably just do like a Ghost block here. I'll go get like a Temple Garden. Tapped. Another Flagstones. Interesting. Making zombies, I guess. We're not just like strictly out of the game. The opponent is down to 1 card. They have double Valakut. We've dealt with 2 of their Dryads already. We've got card draw with Ice Fang and Ephemerate. Okay, so that's going to make a zombie. Opponent seems F6'd. Okay, another one of those guys. What? I did not choose not to cast Ephemerate. That's pretty bonkers. It just said I chose not to cast Ephemerate. Literally the first time that ever happened. I must have thought that I was saying no to Ether Vial, and then I said no to Ephemerate instead. Huh. That's just crazy. Now, if I get both of these guys down, I still don't have Death Touch. I think I'll probably just start with the Oracle. I don't know why exactly. Doesn't really make sense. I think I'd like to play a land here, so... the weirdness continues. Choosing not to cast Ephemerate. Getting paired against super weird matchups. So they play another Flagstone, which is going to get another zombie, I guess. How does the first Flagstones make a field trigger, though? I don't know, I'm confused. Anyhow. Okay, it's not time to block. I might get Thassa online soon. I think I'll just tick this up here. It's like... Thassa is alive. I could actually surprise them, I guess. I could also just tap things down. A bunch of zombies coming. Yeah, I think it's just a pass. I don't know. It's unfortunate. I could have gotten in with the snake in the air, but Grazer has reach, so... Okay, well... If this Skyclave was a deputy, we'd be in a better spot here. They have their own Skyclave. What? What? Oh. I mean, I am going to Flash and Quaddle, draw Ephemerate, and then Ephemerate Thassa when she comes online. That's the dream, basically. Okay, so Thassa becomes a creature. I could have tapped down one of their things, but no Ephemerate. Why? I mean, I guess we get to Skyclave their Skyclave, but I don't know. It's looking pretty bad. It takes 6, draw a deputy. Skyclave. I mean, whatever. Let's block. Let's kill some of their creatures. Need a little bit of time. This will give us a 4/4. I mean, something. But losing Thassa to a Skyclave Apparition feels terrible. I mean, attacking is silly. This is, I think, the 4th Flagstones that they've played. But how did they... Oh, any land that they play, once they have 7, even if it's like a copy of another land, right, of course, triggers field. I was getting confused about the multiples, but I mean, the fact that they're drawing Flagstones, it keeps giving them double zombies, right? Opponent not attacking. All right. So we draw Deputy now. Well, I don't know. I guess it will give us another draw. Oh, they had a Path. That was the last card in hand, was Path. Why not? So the super busted sort of combo-oriented deck has tons of interaction, apparently, post-board. Skyclave Apparition, Path to Exile. And now it's Deputy, Call, or Bust, I guess, here. That was loud. Hey, Isotope. Sorry if I feel a little bit down. I was 3-1 going into the last round, and I got paired against Green-White Titan. So that's game over. Whatever. Let's get out of this thing. Like, I hate it so much. And thanks very, very much for the subscription. That's awesome. This is actually this is the fastest league I think I've ever played on stream. We got a bye in round 2. The opponent just mystically or mysteriously decided to just scoop for some reason before they even drew opening hands. I guess they were done with their league and wanted to give a free win to somebody, or they had to go somewhere. I don't know what happened, but we finished 3-2 in, like, I don't know, I guess I can check the time here maybe. An hour, just under 2 hours, so pretty fast. I think I'll just play 1 Q, just for kicks. Yeah, Titan decks are the worst. They're so stupid. It's just like, it's really unfun, basically. Like, I think I'd like rather play against like linear combo decks or something. I guess that is kind of a linear combo deck, but I'd rather play against like Neo Brand or something. But we cashed the league. I'm not complaining. 3-2. And we beat Heliod combo, which is an obscenely bad matchup for us. So we've got that going for us. This looks pretty good. So go like blue, white. Oh, we just play Temple Garden tapped on turn 1. When it's mulliganing, we're going to keep this. Nice hand against mid-range decks, if that's what we're playing against. Opponent's mulliganing to 5. Maybe not a mid-range deck. Mulliganing to 4. Hopefully not a mid-range deck, because then it's not going to be very fun for anybody. But they are on the play, so if it is some crazy combo deck like Neo Brand, I don't have any forces in hand. Huh. Could be Jund. Somehow I didn't register that basic plains in my hand. That's interesting. Just kind of a blind spot there. So opponent on their mull to 4 is looking to draw lands, presumably. Up. Oh, I think my magic just lagged a little bit. Copperline Gorge. Is it Dredge? Are we going to get wrecked by Dredge on a mull to 4? It looks like it. Cathartic Reunion. Oh, Jesus. With 2 Stinkweed Imps. All right, guys. I guess it's Stonehorn or bust now. Oh my god. Why should there be a deck that can mulligan to 4 and then play this broken garbage? They're gonna end this turn with like 2-3 power creatures on the battlefield, and like a free lightning helix. I've got Eladamri's Call. I've got Uro for some life gain. Got Skyclave to hit one of their creatures. They don't have any Conflagrates in the graveyard yet. Like, not only did they hit. Ugh, so stupid. All right, whatever. I've got the Path to Exile here now, which is nice. It slows them down a little bit. They've got 2 Stinkweed Imps in hand, and I mean, I should know all the cards in their hand, I think. I know the 2 Stinkweed Imps. Do they have any other dredgers in the graveyard? Looks like they may not. Looks like they don't, actually, which is kind of cool. I think I can afford to take the damage here. So do I want to use this turn to call? Next turn I can do like Uro plus Path. But I'd be taking 6, actually, on their turn. So should feel a little bit better just pathing now. Next turn I can play Sky App just to kill their other creature and like stabilize. I think that seems like the way to go. I don't really feel like taking 6 here. So I don't think they have any dredgers in the graveyard, which is pretty awesome for us. But if they have life, they draw into like a Cathartic Reunion. They get to pitch both of those Stinkweed Imps again. All right, so they can sacrifice this thing to draw a card, so I'm just going to path this thing. Take a bit of damage. But we get to fetch like a Hallowed Fountain here. Hope that the opponent has nothing on their turn. Nice, okay. Nothing-ish. So maybe I just don't worry about the Silver Smote and just cast Uro. I guess we'll see what I draw here. Another path, so definitely going Uro and then path. I kind of want to thin the deck a little bit. So I can go green here. Two of the cards in the opponent's hand are Stinkweed Imps. And if they tap their mana down, I can path this thing. Like, I don't know why they would tap mana on their turn here, but if at any point they tap down, then I can path Silver Smote Ghoul cleanly. Actually, I might want to do it. I'll play the Plains for now. They don't have any dredgers, so the draw a card ability is not as busted as it could be. If I path it and they let it go, they get to start playing Stinkweeds or something, so... What is the CMC on Stinkweed? I kind of forget. Is it 3? Is it 4? Whatever. This will at least put a card in my graveyard. I could start, I can escape. Oh, they let it go. Okay, I guess they want that land. They failed to find a basic land. What? Just all sorts of... I think Stinkweed costs just 3. Oh, it's Silver Smote from hand. Fair enough. All right, so these Eladomries are pretty sweet. It means we're going to be able to get Stonehorn going. Do I just Sky App plus Coiling Oracle here for now? Seems okay. I don't really just want to, like, exile everything in the graveyard right now. Maybe just calling is, like, the best here. Like, I can call for, Soulherder, I guess. I kind of like this because it does have that activated ability that is like kind of an extra dredge that lets them draw a card. So getting rid of this seems like a good idea. Remember, the opponent has 2 Stinkweeds in hand. I guess they're kind of holding them in case they draw into another Cathartic Reunion at this point, in which case, like, they'll just win the game immediately. Because dredging double Stinkweed is usually game-winning. From a position like this, where they have a bit of a graveyard already, they've already gone through about half their deck. Well, a third of their deck. Let's be a little more accurate. Next turn, I can call for Soulherder. Okay, playing one of their stinkweeds, that's just good for us. Um, yeah, I think I'm just blinking snakes for now, for a little while. Looks like it's going to be a good old like Soulherder prison game, as long as I can hold the opponent off. Like, I'm not going to Skyclave the Stinkweed because I don't really feel like giving them a 3/3 just yet. Maybe next turn once Soulherder has grown a little bit. Opponent really thinking about this. Maybe they haven't seen Soulherder before. But like hitting Coiling Oracle and getting a land would be pretty cool because then I can call for Stonehorn next turn, and then we just have the combat lock, if not the actual just lock, because they still have Conflagrates, they still have Creeping Chills to hit. They might have some number of helices. Opponent has lost connection to the game. I think Soulherder broke his magic. Let's make this as big as we can. That's as big as it can go. Disappointing. Should be able to just like fill the screen. Watch the text reformat as up. The opponent has joined the game. The text reformatting. Let's go. Opponent's still reading Soulherder. I make it bigger for them. There. Now you can read it better. Oh. Yeah. I mean, you can lose like at any minute against Dredge. Just draw like Cathartic Reunion, pitch a couple of Dredgers. This is too big. Need to shrink that. Okay, I actually just drew Stonehorn Dignitary. That's pretty busted. Opponent casting the second Stinkweed Imp. Is that what's happening? Oh, they have conceded. We won a game against Dredge. That's like almost like winning a match against Dredge. Maybe they saw the Stonehorn and they didn't like that. Maybe they're just like really afraid of Soulherder. I don't know, but they had on the Mult 4, they had the Cathartic Reunion pitching 2 Stinkweeds, which is kind of like the most busted kind of mulligan to 4. But they just hit lands and non-dredgers. So even though they got like two 3-power creatures out, I think on turn 2, we just had removal handy and we're able to sort of not die. And then that was enough. So game 1 in the history books. Let's bring in Worship. Obviously Ashiok. I think Force is pretty sensational. Just counter any of their Dredge facilitators like Cathartic Reunion and Shriekhorn. Maybe Path is good enough, I guess. Celestial Purge, Winds of Abandon, Auriok Champion. That stuff seems pretty good. Veil of Summer, not really that necessary. Night of Autumn, I mean, he's going to blow up like a late Shriekhorn after it's already activated once or twice. Doesn't seem that great. All right, what are we taking out? We do want to find Stonehorn or Worship, so Call seems important. Watcher is slow. Teferi is unnecessary. That almost rhymes, I think. I think Aura is actually pretty nice in the matchup. Glasspool I'm kind of trying to treat as a land these days. They do bring in Artifact Destruction, but I think that we want to keep our Ether Vials in anyway. Or we got to cut some stuff. I don't know. I mean, it's removal, Skyclave, but I think we can trim one of those, trim one call. I don't know. Maybe we don't need... I think all the removal is good. Maybe trim 2 calls. Trim Thassa, keep Soulherder. Trim a 2-drop, and man, I gotta hustle. I gotta just make silly decisions right now. So there we go. The time is just running out. Spent a little while giving you guys the post-game analysis, and that took like a minute off my sideboarding clock. So might want to revisit my sideboarding if it goes to game 3. Do like having all 4 forces against Dredge. It can just sort of cheese a game from them. I guess this is fine. I don't know. It's really weird. Opponent's mulliganing to 6. Maybe they're mulliganing to like artifact hate. I think Dredge kind of has to do that. They mulligan to 5. I mean, Auriok Champion is kind of silly, but it blocks their Silver Smotes, it blocks their Prized Amalgams, and it just gains life whenever creatures enter the battlefield. So I'll start off going like blue-white, and then I guess, I don't know, green-white, or maybe just white. Actually, I guess I have to get green-white because we're going towards lands that can escape Uro, so basic white is pretty bad in this spot. Got to keep that in mind when you're playing Uro. Like, basic plains is pretty bad. I think the opponent might just be over it. I think they're just, like, not even going to 4. I think they're just having a bad day. Is that what's happening, opponent? Is that really what's happening? God. What is going on with Magic this evening? Like, we beat Heliod Company. I'm not gonna play Dredge again. I'm gonna get out while the getting out is good. Like, I'll take my 1 win and just be happy with it. So we beat Heliod Company and we beat Dredge. These are 2 extremely unlikely wins. I think the opponent found another opponent. So I guess we'll just maybe jump in again. It's not even 10 yet. Are you guys in the US? Are you excited about tomorrow's election? 4 long years. I can't tell you how many times I longed for this day, but now it's still pretty scary. Nope. My wife is whispering that maybe somebody watching me is a Trump supporter, and I'm just like, no, it's not the case. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty nutty. And how do we get to a spot where like we have a president who is like already saying he's going to challenge the result? It's like, you don't know what the result's gonna be, man. Like, why you gotta be like that? Like, he doesn't think that ballots should be counted after election day, which, you know, it's just like how the law works. It's how the absentee ballots, the mail-in ballots all get counted. They get counted the day of and after the election. That's how it works. So the fact that our president thinks they shouldn't be counted, little bit weird. I mean, Biden is not the most exciting person in the world. I kind of want Obama back, but whatever. I can't have everything you want. Biden has already shown that he's willing to work with progressive Democrats. I think AOC was one of his advisors during the campaign. So even though he himself has not historically been, I guess, extremely progressive, he's going to try to unite the Democrats at least. So I think it should be okay. Now we just can't find another opponent. Kind of want to play against Mill right now. Get some good old Gaia's Blessing action. Why are you not zooming, Magic Online? Oh, because we found an opponent. Okay. Let's go. Jeez, like, Magic Online is such a weird program. Can you guys see this, or is like my stream is lagging as well? There we go. Okay. So this would be a pretty busted hand if we had like an Ether Vial or a second land, but we don't, so we're going to mulligan. And now we have the Ether Vial. Quite nice. And 2 snakes, which is amazing. So we're going to keep 2 lands, and those 2 lands are going to be, well, Hallowed Fountain on turn 1 is actually pretty good. We get to save 1 point of life, which I think is relevant in this metagame. Even though we're playing with Uro, you know, yeah, I guess I'll keep the Glasspool Mimic, and I'll bottom one of the fetches. Because I was going to fetch Hallowed Fountain anyway. Is this like the Mardu guy again? What is this guy going to take? Pretty interesting. Maybe Ether Vial, but also maybe one of the snakes. I guess we'll see. Took the Ether Vial. Fair enough. So now, yeah, I think I still keep Glasspool Mimic in hand. Drawing basic planes. There's only one of these in my deck. Drawing the basic planes, one of the worst possible draws here, I think. A third land for Glasspool, not the end of the world necessarily. Okay, we're getting Thought Seized. This does look like, well, I don't know. I don't even know anymore. Like, we played against the weirdest Mardu deck earlier. How is Stoneforge in Soulherder? It's kind of bad, but I know that there are people who have played it happily in the past. It's got an ETB ability. Okay, weird magic. If the opponent goes for like Liliana next turn, do we let it resolve or do we pitch our last creature? I think we have to counter it, right? Otherwise, we're just losing the Coiling Oracle and we can't even copy it with Glasspool. And pitching things, yeah, I don't know. Let's see how it goes. Huh. Is this going to be Renin 6? Because I'd be happy to force a Renin 6. Just a Tarmogoyf. Drawing extremely, extremely strangely. So I think getting the Glasspool Mimic down seems important here. Yeah, no, now it's just regular old Jund. And the deck here is just drawing extremely weirdly. Can't copy Tarmogoyf, have to copy Coiling Oracle, which is fine because I think I might copy Coiling Oracle anyway. Another Coiling Oracle. Okay, probably not going to block the Tarmogoyf for a little while. Okay. And Klothys can't even be forced because it's a creature, and all of a sudden we're getting seriously wrecked. I guess we kind of, I don't even know that we can really draw anything here, honestly. I might just kill the Bloodbraid. It gets rid of Devotion, and I've got more snakes coming. And then we draw like a Skyclave Apparition off the top. A Skyclave Apparition, like I said. I kind of want to thin the deck, but I don't know what land I want to get, so I think I'll just play the Coiling Oracle. Ephemerate would be sort of okay. Uro would be very nice. Skyclave Apparition would be nice. Eternal Witness was another one I was going to say, but now the opponent knows that I have it, but I can always counter anything that they have that tries to get it out of my hand. Klothys is really slow graveyard hate, so we should be able to grab something with Eternal Witness and start rebuilding. They don't know about either of the forces. They do know about the Eternal Witness because the Coiling Oracle revealed it. So no blocks here. We have to take our beats. Klothys is going to be ticking down. I mean, ticking my life total down. This will take us to 9. Opponent's got 2 cards left in hand. We do have a force up. Yeah. Why not? Oh my god. These forces look so stupid. So I've drawn 2 Ether Vials and 2 forces here now. I guess like Stonehorn off the top is the only thing that really kind of stabilizes. We need green. Yeah, we need green. So green-blue here, I guess, is, or green-white. Yeah, I guess green-white is probably the best. I think we're very close to just being dead. That was decent. So if I get Eternal Witness, this guy wants 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They need like any devotion to turn this guy into a creature, which would probably just end the game on the spot. I can play Eternal Witness, get back a Flooded Strand, but I can't get a basic that lets me cast Icefang Coatl. Because I need more green to cast Eternal Witness and Icefang Coatl. Oh, yeah, Paintball is saying that, but I'm going through that. I mean, I can get a land and cast the Coatl, but I'm taking a hit on my life total. No, you know what? I can go get Canopy Vista. It's not going to have Death Touch, but at least I can cast it. And try to not die, I guess. I mean, like, getting back a land with Eternal Witness in this spot just seems ridiculous, but we thought through that line there. Oh, you know what? I have a Misty Rainforest sitting here. I thought I only saw the Flooded Strand. So, actually, Misty Rainforest is the way to go, I guess. And then we just pass, I guess, right? I'm kind of telegraphing that we have the Coatl, I'd imagine, but not a lot to be done about it. I run enough basics. I run 2 forests, 2 islands, 1 plains. All right, down to 6. We need some pretty good running here. They're going to... Okay, Thought Seizing me. At this point, like, that seems pretty forcible. I might as well play the Icefang first, maybe. See what I draw, but force pitching force just seems fine. If they can beat like around if I play the Icefang, I don't think it changes anything about this force situation. Like force is the worst card, like the best card to pitch to force because it's kind of bad in the matchup to begin with. Did I just make the Tarmogoyf bigger? I may have. Oh, is this an... Ugh, Liliana. Get out of here. You're going to make me sacrifice a creature, and I think that might be it. Nah, I think we might get to live one more turn. Okay. So this has to be a pretty good draw off of Ice Fang Coatl. Place your bets on whether the opponent has a Lightning Bolt to finish this off. They have exactly one card in hand. I mean, obviously Klothys gets me anyway. Well, that wasn't what I was hoping for. No creatures on the battlefield. Klothys, not quite going to kill us. Play to the bitter end, and this is, in fact, the bitter end. Well, you know, it's a good matchup. I think I mulligan this game. And now that we know what we're playing against, we can sideboard in a lot of good stuff. Play Ice Fang, so if you draw lands, you still have force for later. I guess. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny forcing force. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's funny. It's funny if the only spell that I have in my hand is force, pitching a card to it, right? It's it's that time of night where we're paying 2 spells when we get Thought Seized instead of just letting them take one of them. I take out all my forces. Pretty bad. Bring in stuff like Green Cryptic Command, Path to Exile. This whole column of white cards is pretty awesome. Actually kind of like Worship, particularly in combination with Auriok Champion. I think that Soulherder is a little bit weak. I think maybe Deputy is a little bit weak, but sort of makes him have the removal spell at least. They don't have like ETB stuff that really gets us. I don't know that I'm like I really need the calls. Watcher is probably solid in the matchup. Trim 2 calls, leave 2 calls. And if we're bringing in Worship, I mean, how good is Stonehorn? Stonehorn is something that we can go grab, but usually if we're at the point of the game, I mean, I don't know. That's never mind. Disregard. I think Worship is just better. Stonehorn dies to creature removal. Stonehorn out. Maybe Deputy out since they have the Skyclaves, since I have the Skyclaves. And I'll trim 1 Ether Vial. I really like Ether Vials in this deck. And so whereas Merfolk tends to trim 2 Ether Vials against Jund, I think I like keeping in 3 here. I think we got double Thoughtseize that game. Like, the first 2 turns, just like, it's like Inquisition into Thoughtseize or Thoughtseize into Thoughtseize. Okay, I mean, lands and spells. We can go green, blue, and then get Canopy Vista. But we want double white for Skyclave, so that line doesn't really work. So I guess probably want to start off just the normal, just getting blue-white. And you know what? I might just actually, so I'm going to hold up mana either way, but I think I might just call for Uro because he's like just so good in the matchup. Now we can go green, blue, green, white. So I think green here is just fine. I mean, getting fetches in the graveyard for Uro would be nice and everything, but I think we're going to have time for that. So Ren and 6 is actually kind of cool for us because we get to just kill this thing with Skyclave. So I kind of want to just get maybe Ice Fang down. Huh. I think getting Uro into play, like in my hand, whether it's in the graveyard or whatever, at any point, the opponent can just like Thoughtseize and take Eladamri's Call out of my hand. So if we're going to tap out for Skyclave, I'd like to get Uro into my hand. Okay, we're drawing well. So to escape Uro, we do need to get... so I want to cast Skyclave now. It's kind of a little bit awkward. I'd love to get basics, but Skyclave is sort of preventing me from doing that because I need only green and blue to be able to escape Uro later. So I think the basics probably have to wait. All right, well, this game's getting off to a much better start. Liliana will give them a 2/2 if they minus, but we would be able to double Snake next turn, which could, in theory, kill Liliana. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Land situation's pretty nice. I might just want to go Uro Ephemerate here, play all my lands. But if Liliana makes me discard, then I'm only going to have good stuff in hand. She's going to make me discard no matter what. So maybe I discard this extra land and just plan on double snaking. I mean, if I Uro Ephemerate, I'm going to have like plenty of stuff to pitch probably to Liliana. And then I'll be able to untap and just escape Uro. So that line actually seems pretty good. Canopy Vista coming in painlessly, untapped. Very nice. All right. So if Liliana makes me discard something, I just discard one of my millions of snakes, I guess. Man, I hope that they play I hope they play a Scavenging Ooze right now. I'm not worried about this illusion. I'm not going to waste a Path to Exile on it. Okay, well, Tarmogoyf is a decent reason to rip the path, I think. Let's get rid of that dude. Hopefully, I mean, I'm not going to escape Uro just yet with Liliana on the battlefield, I think, although maybe it's fine just to grind value, but, they've got a removal spell sitting on the board. So if I draw a land, I could play a snake. Oh, I got to play a snake now to catch this, I guess. Yeah, so, I mean, the Ephemerate is dictating my play this turn. That's interesting. Nice. Very nice. Okay. So now I guess just play the ether vial. Like, we're getting crazy value draws here, basically. 2 Death Touchers. All right, so I mean, I'm fine discarding the second Uro, but let me get this Death Toucher on the battlefield. Yeah. Uro's going to take one for the team here. Celestial Purge is pretty awesome if I get to untap with it. Uro plus Celestial Purge next turn. Opponent getting frisky. That's fine. Okay, Anger of the Gods. Nice. What did I add? Like 2 snakes, right? Anger of the Gods for 2 snakes? I guess maybe they think they're holding it down with their Manland and Liliana. Oh, why did I tap blue? That was pretty stupid. I wanted to escape Uro. Ugh, alright, I guess I just keep waiting. Oh well. No Liliana for you. I mean, this game I feel like is probably like 90% me at this point, but the opponent will have 3 cards in their hand here. Not escaping Uro is pretty bad, though. Alright, well, if they're casting Bloodbraid Elves, it's good value. Abrupt Decay gonna blow up my Ether Vial, not the end of the world. So, that resolves. Get our 10,000th snake on the battlefield. Why did I tap blue? So stupid. Path to Exile. Alright, I'm down with that. Keep our snake. The deck has been a friend this game. This has been like the most comfortable game that I played this evening. Eternal Witness is nice as well. Alright, all lands and Ether Vials for the first escape. Nope. Alright, we can cast both of these spells in our hand next turn, if we feel like it. And we have another Uro. I mean, this, I don't know, like if they manage to draw like a Cling to Dust, we've got both Uros in the graveyard and on the battlefield. Opponent just passing the turn, leaving up blockers with Raging Ravine, maybe a Bolt plus a blocker. So I will attack. Yeah, this is, they're doing it during my main. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Okay. Yep. More blue mana, please. And I guess we just go to attacks. Could play Eternal Witness and get back Ephemerate, but if they're going to kill the snake, they would just do it right away. In response to me casting Eternal Witness, right? All right, opponent down to 1 card. I think just leaning on Uro is probably the way to go here. Okay, pass the turn, play Call, go get Soulherder. All right, opponent empty-handed. Oh, I took Soulherder out because she's a little bit weak, like I said, but I can get Thassa. If I play Eternal Witness, I sort of need to draw a land if I want to get full value here. But I can like wait a turn to play Thassa if I don't have a land. Just get Eternal Witness and path the Dark Confidant right away, or rather, I guess Celestial Purge. Could also just Sky App it. Maybe that's the best value. Maybe, yeah, Ephemerate. Opponent Scooping, I think. So if they wrecked us in game 1, I mean, I think we wrecked them harder in game 2. All right, last game of the night. Let's see if we can end on a nice note against Jund. Think for an extra moment about our sideboard. Maybe Ether Gust is worth it against like Klothys. What would I trim here? Eladamri's Call seemed good actually in that spot. I think I'm just fine this way. Maybe if they bring in Choke or something, I can get Got. So maybe, or maybe even like Blood Moon. So Ether Gust. Well, Blood Moon from Jund would be ambitious, I think. I've got Celestial Purges for Klothys and for things like, well, Blood Moon. I don't know what made me think of Blood Moon, but typically you don't have to worry about Blood Moon at Jund, although I'm pretty sure it's been played, Blood Moon Jund. Jund Moon. I don't know if it was like Mimi or if it was actually a deck. Like people who just couldn't bring themselves to not play Jund, but Blood Moon was just like too good in the metagame. That match against Dredge was kind of funny. Like, they mulled to 4 in game 1 and then started off with an extremely explosive opening. This seems just fine. I'm gonna keep this. It's a little bit slow, but it's got excellent answers, and it's got lands. Eternal Witness is one of the best cards in the matchup. Celestial Purge, I only have 2 of them, and oh my god. All right, things are just getting better and better. So, I think here probably, well, getting Canopy Vista down seems smart, and then I just start playing blue lands after that. I'm going to Purge Renin 6. I mean, they could just go like aggro with Tarmogoyf. That can be one of the hardest things to beat, particularly with this hand that we have here. But like this answers Dark Confidant, it answers Renin 6. They do have a fetch to get back with Renin 6, which is annoying. But basically what, they just paid 2 mana for a fetch land, I guess. Glasspool, a little awkward, but maybe it can copy an Eternal Witness later. So if I go blue, I guess blue is fine for now. Okay, so Liliana, maybe make me discard something, and then I can just untap and purge Liliana. Very cool. So I want to get green blue on my turn, because casting Eternal Witness and Ashiok is going to outweigh casting. But hang on a second. We're going to say okay here, but I'm just purging on my turn, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to purge and actually take this opportunity to Well, no, Glasspool we might want to play for value, right? Although getting it down as a land, I have 4 lands, um, opens things up a little bit. I think playing Glasspool as a land is fine because, you know, we're wide open if we try to copy Eternal Witness and they just kill her in response to Glasspool. So I think playing Glasspool as a land is just fine. Although, yeah, we're just going to purge here, so... All right, now, Eternal Witness, we can't go like Eternal Witness plus Path, but we could go like Ashiok plus Path. So, oh, they have their own Ashiok. Wow, okay. It's going to shut down my fetch now. And it gets rid of both of my purges. That was really, really, really absurd. All right, well now we just have to fight basic. Oh, they're taking Ashiok, I guess. I can't even crack this Windswept Teeth. Well, I can crack it, but I can't get anything with it. Ashiok. The timing on that is just so unfortunate. Ugh. Would really like to get that down. I can't even play the Eternal Witness. I can't play anything except the Path. So not ending on the note that I wanted to end on, but you know, sometimes it happens. So I think I probably just have to Path the Croxa because that's going to be a bigger problem down the line. Might as well just pitch the Eternal Witness since it's not going to get any graveyard value with Ashiok out. I mean, I guess snakes are pretty good where I'm at here. If I had thought about Ashiok, I obviously would have played my fetch first. I mean, now I'm... Okay, whatever. Bloodbraid Elf. Get at me. Hoping to draw a white land, I guess, right now. Teferi... Can bounce nothing and just draw a card. Sort of seems okay. Okay. That's not how this game was supposed to go. I had 2 Celestial Purges, and they got simultaneously exiled by Ashiok. Alright, guys. Sorry it had to end like this. I probably could have played this better, too. I didn't need to kill Liliana immediately, I don't think. All right, so noted. Like, be careful playing against Ashiok, against Jund. No comments about the Ashiok from the chat. Man, Clothis. As soon as I draw Uro, I guess that's it, guys. So I'm gonna concede, and I'm just gonna lose to Jund. After beating our worst matchups, we lose to our best matchup. It's been an upside down evening of Magic. Most of you seem to have checked out already, though, for the evening. It looks like maybe there's one person left in chat. So thanks for sticking with me, whoever's left. I really appreciate it. We finished our league 3-2, which I can't complain about, but very strange draws throughout most of the evening. So, still had fun. I guess that's what matters, right? So, if anybody's here with me, have a good rest of the night. If you're in the States, let's wish each other luck tomorrow during the election, and